Okay, just a really quick video. I hope, I don't know, this might take longer than a minute, who knows. So this is my current two-dimensional, one-dimensional Pong game prototype, just to play around with it, and because I'm sick and tired of using a breadboard. This took way too long to build. It's not as straight as I thought it would be, but anyway, I haven't actually tested it yet. So there's two lines of 4017 controlled LEDs, so there should be about 16 in each line. And it should be wired up the way that I wanted it. And so I've done actually some more coding than what I've actually talked about last time, but I just got too frustrated with the giant breadboard version of this, so I just wanted to simplify things down a bit. I just realized that I haven't quite prepared as well as I should have. What have I got in here? We're just going to use these. So this is the board. So this is how I think I have wired everything up. There's a stray wire here for no reason, and there's probably some wires here that are touching on the bottom, so I don't think they are. I think they're all, I kind of left some of the legs unclipped because I might want to attach things to them later on. So it's all quite bizarre all over the show. As you can see, there's a lot of wires here. This is like, I am slowly getting into designing PCBs. And so the next version of this, because I do want to have a version where the wires are actually, like the LEDs are separate on a separate thing up higher, or big LEDs. But this is just to play around with it. So this is going to be put in a case with sort of clear plastic over the top, or not clear, but slightly opaque plastic over the top, so that you can't see the actual LEDs, but you can see a little light and proper arcade buttons on the side to play the actual game. And then there's going to be little modules for each part, the extra parts like the scoreboard and the sound and the actual Arduino bit. But let's just see if this actually works. So we don't actually need the Arduino at the moment. We can just use the 4017 in normal fashion using this little 555 timer component to do all the interesting stuff I always forget, which is this is not wired up in any intelligent way. First off, I'm going to wire this thing up, so that's ground, and then white can be, it's very strange, so this is going to be my signal point, so I'm going to put that one there, and this should be I'm pretty sure I've got this right. So the brown one goes to ground and the red one goes to plus 5 volts, so that's power to everything. So this is the control bit, and these ones here control these are actually miles away, aren't they? How are we going to do this? Do I have another little board? I've got this one. It's the what was that thing for? That's the 4000 thing. I kind of want, no, I'd have to get one than that. I know, just the thing. Alright, so we will use one of these along the side. Where did I put the rest of my wires? And here's a pile of wires. So I'm just going to transfer some power across to here. Pardon me. Yeah, so it's all very hard to decide which way round to wire these things up. But you know, so these actually go into the base of the 4 transistors, and there's a transistor. So it's been a while since I've done this project, but basically because there's more than 10 LEDs, the transistors are used to turn on blocks of LEDs. So there's 10, and then there's a block of 6 which are linked up, and if you have basically all the transistors on, you'll get two LEDs on each side at once. So that's what we're just going to do now, because that's all I care about. But we'll see if they actually work. But they're not current limited, these things, so they just go directly into the legs. So I'm going to use some 1Ks. I hope they're 1Ks. I could just use a higher, no, that would be fine. I could just use one, couldn't I? I don't need to use a whole bunch. The problem is I really have used a low, quite a high transistor here. So this is in the collector side. Pardon me. And this is limiting the current for the LEDs, but these are very bright LEDs, so I've used quite a high, I forgot what I think they're like 2.2K LED resistors here. So these are quite dim even when I've saturated the transistor. So I'm actually going to replace these with lower resistance ones, so that they're pretty bright, and then I'm going to use pulse width with modulation on the microcontroller to actually dim them down a bit, which is going to save power and be more flexible. So hopefully I can just put all of these things straight across into, well, I can't quite fit. Oh no, I can. What am I talking about? Yes, I can. There's 4. So actually, if I don't do anything now, when I turn it on, I should get non-moving LEDs at least. I'm going to take these wires out before I short something out. So there should be like an LED on and nothing actually happening. So one of these wires connects to the black one, I'm pretty sure, connects to the reset on both of these, or the 4017s, and then the other 2 wires are the individual clocks for each 4017. So all in all, to control this whole display, I'm going to need 7 pins on the Arduino. So I'm going to need the reset, one for the shared reset, 2 for the clocks, and 4 for the transistors. So let's just see if it, well, actually we'll tie these all. So to reset has to be tied to ground anyhow, so we'll tie that to ground. And the clock can be tied to ground, so nothing. So when I turn this on, fingers crossed that this actually works, we're going to get 4 LEDs on that aren't moving. And we've got 3 LEDs on, which is depressing, but this might be the second set over here, or it might not be. So let's actually hook up. This shouldn't actually be very hard. So this is my clock signal here. Maybe what we need is a spare LED. And we'll just take this little chap and put them there, and put that there, so that we can see what's coming out of the. So that's a very slow, but that's fine. So let's just try the first one. So I'm going to put that into there, and nothing happened. That's a poor start to the. Ooh. Now it's going crazy. Well, this is interesting. Maybe I've got. Whoa. Okay, this one I'm pretty sure actually works fine. So if I put this into here, yeah. So that was actually just moving along with interference from my hand, I guess. So we've got one that works, and then we've got one that doesn't work. So that's a bit of a shame. Well, this is my most recent one, so I didn't think there wouldn't be any problems with this. So what if I take the reset out? Well, it moves along. Maybe that one is actually the. Well, what if I put? Oh, that one doesn't work. So that one can be the reset. Well, that one now works. And then what if I move this one across? Nope, that didn't work. Yeah. Well, it did actually move. So there was some process by which that thing was moving. So I'm a bit confused as to which is reset and which is not. Well, this is kind of sad, but they do seem to, like, we had one over here and then we had one over here. So oh, that one doesn't do anything. That one's that transistor. That one's that transistor. So those 2 wires connect to the transistors for here. And that one should turn that one off. So it looks like at least the transistors are correct. Yeah, they do look very, like, I want it brighter than that. So I made a bad decision to, is there any way that I can move anything around? This is so confusing. I don't know how this could be possibly the case. Well, now that one's flashing. So actually, that's telling me that the white one is actually the reset line, maybe. Why would that be flashing. I don't know. So now I'm going to have to go through. I thought I'd done it straight off first time, but I obviously haven't. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that works. I'm pretty sure this was reset. I did go through multiple times and trying to work out where these wires go. So, alright, well that's what I was just going to do. So we're going to come back. We're going to this afternoon. I'm going to go over it and see if I can get this to work. And then I'm just going to hook up some buttons. I hope. I might have to build something out of wood because I really want the arcade buttons. I don't want those little silly buttons. I don't want one of these. These kind of buttons are terrible. So, like, I mean, they're fine with this kind of stuff, but they're not fine for playing this game. So we'll do that. So it's doing something here. So disappointing, very disappointing. We'll work it out. If I touch things, does anything happen? No. That's always the best way of troubleshooting. Right. Okay. Thanks for that, and we'll be back with lots more videos soon. Bye.